Welcome everybody. So from the thumbnail we are going to plow on. So we're going to stick with this series. I don't want to just abandon it. I was thinking over and over in my head ideas how we could leave or whatnot like that, but then I thought, well, is it really worth it? Because with FS22 sort of on the horizon, and I will be switching over to that. I hope you'll all join me as well and carry on watching me. Still going to keep this game just in case we need to come back to it every now and then if things get a bit dried up on FS22. But yeah, my main thinking behind that is because I'm recording this on Friday. So on Monday, I think it's only 9 weeks until FS22 drops. So I've roughly been doing an episode a week on this series. So in that theory, that's only going to be 9 or maybe 10 episodes probably on a new map if we went. So it's not really fair on you guys to just start a new series and then all of a sudden end it when FS22 comes out. So I think we'll just carry on as we are. I mean, yes, we have had some horrible things happening on this map. We've had to start twice again, but we're still here, so we're going to carry on. So first things first, let's just check, because we are a little bit later into the day than what we finished last episode. So the carrot prices are actually going up, and we've got 247,000 still just over on that. But what I'm going to do is, if you remember rightly, our horses do take carrots, and I'm assuming it's going to be about 8,000 litres, I think. So they're good to go for everything else. So if we load up roughly around 8,000, doesn't matter if we go over because we can tip them back in our silo, but we'll hold off on selling the carrots because I want to see where those sort of prices top out. I'm hoping they're going to push over the 400 mark like the tomatoes there. And then in the fields we need to do a little bit of work. So obviously harvested, I have no idea what these little dots are all about. They look a little bit weird. But this field's going to need ploughing because obviously we've had our root crop in there, the carrots. So that's something we can do. Crack on as well, and we'll get some more crops put in there. Now, someone has told me that our seeder here is in fact a direct drill, even though it doesn't say it on the description here. Most of them say direct drill, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to try that. So in theory, that kind of makes that redundant. I know we could carry on doing it because it is technically a bit more realistic, but do we want to be causing more work for ourselves when we don't really need to? That looks well smart, doesn't it? So we'll check that when it comes to it. We'll hook the seeder up and we'll just have a little play around with that and see if it does actually work. But for now we're going to jump in the tractor and grab some carrots, head over to the horses, and give them some of them. So like I say, if we just go over slightly, 8,000 carrots, that'd be perfect. Head straight on over to them, then we'll come back. Well, we need to get a plough because we currently don't own a plough. So what I might do, in fact, when we get back from the horses, we will test that seeder out, and if that does indeed direct drill, then we'll take our cultivator to the shop, we'll sell it, and then we'll have a look at some plows, see if we can buy one. I'm really hoping soon that we could afford to buy another plot of land, but it is quite expensive around here because the fields are obviously fairly big. So I think we need to go left here, isn't it? I haven't got any beacons on. Now we're blocking the road. Come on, the train has gone. So yeah, that is where we are at. I know a few of you said, oh, you know, if it's causing you problems and just leave, but I know some of you are enjoying it. A couple of others have said no, I'd stick with it, and we are going to stick with it. So I hope you all don't mind my decision and you understand where I'm coming from with that decision. Right, now I'm guessing this is going to be tipped in the feed trough here. I've no idea what it's going to look like, because obviously that goes, oh, that's a bit, is it going to come out? There we go. So it looks like my theory was indeed correct. There we go, 8,000 litres. Happy days. So they should be happy horses. Which kind of makes me happy. Even after all the drama we've had on here. Oh, let's close, come on, close up. Whoa there. Alright, that was a bit temperamental, that gate, wasn't it? So let's head on back to the farm. We'll tip this back in, we'll get that seed drill tried out and tested. And then that will be the next thing, what we are going to plant in our fields. Where the carrots were, I'd like to do one of the other new root crops, so possibly carrots or onions. I'm thinking probably onions. And my thinking behind that is the tomatoes look like they're at a pretty good price, around 400 mark, and the onions aren't quite there, so I'm hoping the onions are going to go up by the time we come to harvest, and the tomatoes are probably going to go down. But judging by our luck on this map, that probably won't be the case. But we can always hold on to them as well, like we are with the carrots, holding them back to get the best price. So we know nothing comes from our left, so we just pop straight across, and we'll tip our 542 litres of carrots back in the silo. And the trailer can actually stay there. That is fine. Beacons off. Oh, I'll tell you what I did notice actually. You know, this ridiculously huge field here, there is a contract on here. I may attempt to do it after this episode off camera. Is it still there? There we go. Harvesting barley. 39,370. We'll probably use our own equipment there, save ourselves $6,000, which would be good, and take to the old, oh no, the old railway. That's where I got stuck with the truck, isn't it? So I'll have to navigate my way in there a bit better. So that's not too far away if we did do that, straight across from the shop, straight up. So yeah, if it's still available after this episode, I may do that just to top our money up. That's going to take absolutely forever, but I will, like always, keep you in the loop, tell you what I've done and what we've earned, because hopefully we should get a nice bit left over of the barley. Excuse the dodgy camera angles. Which means we can either sell that wherever the best price is. There's no point really keeping hold of it because we haven't got any chickens or anything like that. Right, so we've only got a little bit of seed in here, but for now let's just check the prices. I'm not really, I've done rye before. I'm not too worried about any of these other new crops because I want to try and earn us a bit more money. So I'm thinking we should put soybeans in there because we all know what soybeans can do. A very nice price at North Grains for soybeans. Animal Market Grains is going up. We should get a decent amount off of that field. So let's just turn that over to soybean. Oh, I've gone too far. There we go. Let's just see if this actually does work. If it does, that is pretty cool. Right, so we'll turn that on and lower that down. The seeds are going down. The texture's changed on the field. There we go, look, soybeans growing. Fantastic. So yeah, I know that might not be very realistic for some people because some of you like to do the old cultivating, and which I obviously did want to do, but where these fields are so huge, if we can cut our work time down a little bit, I think that's what we should do. So we'll take this up to the shop while I sort the camera angles out. We'll sell this. I can't actually remember how much we pay for this. It's probably not going to be a huge amount. So I think most things we've bought so far, we've bought fairly, not cheap, but you know, they haven't been that expensive because we were building ourselves up. But we're sitting quite pretty at $258,000, which is very nice, but that is still some way off buying another field. So let's drop that in the zone. I'll turn that off. That's not that one, is it? It's this one. So it doesn't need repairing. 16,422, so not a huge amount. But let's get rid of that. Now, what have you got in the terms of plows, please, Mr. Shopkeeper? Now, I know what I want to use, but I can't remember. It's this. So it's John Deere, so it's fitting in nice with our farm. It's 12 meter wide, which is good. 15 slots, which is, I guess, not too bad for John Deere stuff, but it's 55,000. Now, we could I know I've been called the Lord of Leasing, I think it was by someone. We could lease that, because at the end of the day we only want it just for this purpose. Tell you what, how wide is our cedar? Oh, it's a bit wider, isn't it? Wonder if we could hook that up and do that together. No, let's not get silly, because I've already got rid of our cultivator. So, oh my goodness, mind you, that's quite cool. That should, let's lease that. We'll just lease that because we don't need it for long. Oh look, our truck's still here. I wonder where that went to. We'll sort that out later. There is the plough. I think eventually we probably will buy a plough. But for now, it's one of those tools where it's, you know, we're only going to use it for this sort of purpose, for this time like this. We've had a root crop in there, so we need to... Are they flapping around at the back? They are. That's quite smart, isn't it? I do like some of the physics of this game. I'm going to turn the beacons off because no one ever drives down this part of the road. And we'll start unfolding. I think we'll go up to this part first. That's a very nice big grass field someone's got growing there. And we'll go something like that. I'm just going to double check we haven't got great fields, because that would be a disaster if we did that. So if we go something like that, we'll drop that down into the road. Then off we go. And then with those tines at the back, that's making that a nicer texture than just a ploughed state, which is pretty nice. So that's pretty smart. So let's just stop there, double check this field. There we go. We'll get rid of that. So I'll get this done and I'll bring you back in probably when we're ready for seeding. So I will see you in a while, everybody. Yeah, boy. There's some feed for you, some food even. Right, so that is all ploughed, and I think if we do buy it, we will get that in that configuration that we had, because not only does it plough it with the forks on the back, it gives it the cultivated state as well, which is pretty smart in my eyes. I've just been talking to Eddie and Jade. They've just gone out with the kids. They've just invited me in for dinner tonight, so that's very cool. I don't have to worry about rustling something up for myself or microwave meal for one. Right, tractor's looking a bit filthy, but I think we'll go and fill up this with seeds. So we'll hook up to there, but before we do that, we are going to go and get a few stairs from everyone in the gas station, because the tractor's getting a little bit low. So that should drop a few jaws on the floor, is what I was meant to say, not drawers. I don't want anyone dropping in their drawers in front of me, please. So where is going to be the best one to fill up from? Over here, I reckon. Is that going to work? That is not working. Oh, what a surprise. Well, I know these ones over here work because we filled the truck up before with it. There we go. Ah, for a minute there I thought that was another issue coming up. $203. But we are full up with the tractor. Right, across the road. Fill this bad boy up with seeds. And I think we'll go for soybeans first in the big field. So let's get that cover open. And we need to swing round back onto that. Like so. There we go, that was easier, wasn't it? Right, back over to our fields. Old Mr. and Mrs. Wilson live in that house there, become quite friendly with them, lovely old couple. Obviously been out having some sort of picnic and sunbathing out the front there by the look of it. So what we'll do is I think we will start off somewhere around here. Is a good a spot as any. We're already on soybeans from our little test earlier. We'll turn those off. Fire that up. Drop that down. And then off we go. Obviously we'll need to fertilise as well later on after this. Because although it is a direct drill, which is good, we found that out. I'm pleased about that. We do need to fertilise, it doesn't fertilise. But it's got a huge tank on it for seeds. Which again is very handy for us having these big fields on this map. But again, further down the line we probably will upgrade this to something bigger, just so we can cope a bit more with those fields. But I'm mainly interested in making a bit more money, or a lot more money. Trying to expand. So let's get these soybeans in, and then we can switch over and get some onions growing. Well, that was what I was going to check actually. Just have a quick check of the onion and tomato situation. So yeah, the onions are going up. Tomatoes are staying put. They are pretty good price, I would say, at all three of those sell points, but they're more than likely going to go down. Onions at the truck stop, 452. Hopefully we can get a similar sort of amount off of that field as the carrots. That is what I'm hoping. Anyway, we'll carry on with this because this is going to take a little while. this is the last bit to do. Can we get it all in one go? Hopefully it's looking good. Happy days. Let's just turn that off. Right. Soybeans, it looks good to me. Growing. Yes, we need to fertilize it. So we can swap over to onions now. Now I've just thought, or had a thought, are the onions going to go down as quick as the carrots? But you remember when we planted the carrots, they went down ridiculously quick, didn't they? So I'm wondering if that is going to be the case again. We'll soon find out though. Onions. Turn that back on. Drop that down. Yes. Look at it. That's good, because that means we should get about the same sort of figure off of this field as we did with the carrots. Now we're probably going to need to take a trip back to the seed tank by the look of things, because that is going down very quick. But the good thing about the seeds is if you are sort of slightly overlapped, it won't use seeds, it will only put them in and use them up on the areas that you haven't actually been over. Whereas the liquid fertilizer, that just goes down regardless whether you've been over that area or not, which is a little bit annoying. So it is only going to use up where we need to go, if that makes sense. We're down to 60% already. It's crazy, isn't it, that we can do a massive field like that to our left in soybeans, hardly even touch the sides, and then all of a sudden we're putting a few little onions in and it's going mental. That's almost all the onions done. I've just got a tiny little bit left in the middle which I missed because I got slightly distracted. And then we'll double check the map. It should be all good to go though. And then we'll get some fertilizer over there. So you see what I mean about the seeds, it's going down very, because there's only a couple of little patches and now it's stopped completely. So it only uses the seeds for the areas that you haven't actually done. So the tractor and seeder is absolutely filthy now. What I want to do is get some fertilizer on there. We'll drop this off here so that can have a wash. Do that off camera at the end. So fertilizer spreader, shouldn't take us long to whiz over those fields with the spread width that we've got. I'm going to check to see if that contract is still available, and I probably will do that, you know. But again, I will screenshot things and record things to show you, you know, what we've done and the bit of extra crop we'll get left over. We'll sell that, because it might not necessarily be the best price where we have to take the, I think it was barley, wasn't it? But we'll double check that, or I will double check that when it comes to selling it ourselves, that is. So let's just do, oh hang on, whoa, we should be on 45. Yeah, we are. That's okay, that's good. We'll get a bit along this way and then we'll go across. So yeah, definitely shouldn't take us long to do this. I didn't actually check the map, did I? To make sure. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's a nice colour blue, isn't it? But we've got onions in there and they are growing. I still don't know why. I guess it's because that grass strips there. There's no division there like that, is there? So obviously we've just fertilised that section. But we did have to top up with seeds again. Which I thought we would have to. Well, it's still there because it's this field, so the contract should be still available. There's barley there, ready to be harvested. Sorry. Hopefully we'll get to do that, but that field is absolutely huge. But again, that is something I can do off camera. Can you imagine me even doing a time lapse on that? That is just ridiculous. Right, come on, concentrate, we're missing bits now. Like so. Let's get the old cruise control on. Then we'll whiz over that field. That is all pretty much good to go then. The whole process starts again. But we're sat at 261,000. Hopefully next episode we might be able to sell off those carrots, depending on what the prices do. And then obviously we'll probably have to fertilise some of these fields again. Second dose. Well, if I go down the middle, we should be able to get all of that and part of this field. Like so. 2 birds, 1 stone. So yeah, I mean the field prices, so I've talked about 17, but look at that, 553,000. How are you ever going to afford that? Even that field 8, which is small with the seed tank. I guess we'll probably have to go for something a bit cheaper than 17 next door. But it is going to make us more money, isn't it, if we buy another field. Let's just make sure we're not missing any of this. I was going to have another quick look. I mean, these two, they come as 2, so they're well out of bounds. They are 20. Look at that, it's ridiculous prices. How are we ever going to afford one? We will get there. We have to get there. I mean, if you go something like that comes as a 2, look at that. That is nowhere near gonna... They're all in 2s, aren't they? Most of them. I think field 8 might be our best bet. Looking at that. Be kind of nice to stay close to our farm so we're not having to travel too far, you know, with machinery like the harvester going along the road just to get to a field. Obviously we have got our trailed header, which is good, but we don't want to be travelling too far. So we should get away with one more pass. That will be all of that then done. Double check, make sure I haven't missed any bits, because obviously I've been looking at the map as well. Trying to suss out potential. Someone's left their bike outside the supermarket. Hope it's chained up. Not that we live in a rough area, it's pretty nice round here. Come on birds, shift it, otherwise you're getting sprayed. That one's just got sprayed with fertilizer. So, this should be it. Might have missed a couple of little tiny spots there with the cedar. It's not showing up on the map, I guess, because they're so small. There we go. Let's zoom in. Let's go that way. Would be better, wouldn't it? There we go. Brilliant. So that is all done and dusted. I think we'll probably leave it there for this episode. So hope you have all enjoyed it and you're all okay with us staying here, trying to earn a hard honest crust. Tractor needs cleaning. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, please give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.